Yes, and we're live once again. Hands around the world, our healing session. We've had lots of comments. We've had comments from people who've said, I fell asleep, I was so relaxed. I wonder sometimes if it's that I'm so boring and my voice is so boring that people fall asleep, but I actually think it's all about the energy and about the good energy that is put out there. All right, first of all, let's begin once again by explaining exactly what I as a healer do, exactly what we do for healing, and how we extend our energy out as we're giving healing. We always begin our healing sessions with a prayer. You don't have to believe in God. My belief in God, my belief in that universal energy is way more than enough for anybody, for all of us actually. We never ever talk about healing or curing a situation, because that's not my role to do. People come to me and say, can you cure my cancer? Can you cure this, this infirmity that I have? And we don't even begin to set out to give cures of any kind whatsoever. So we never promise anything, and we never, and some of you are thinking, well, what's the point then? Well, the point is that in the kind of healing that I am involved in, we give healing, we give prayer, we send energy, good, positive, bright, gorgeous energy to the soul, because I feel that our souls are sometimes so pulled down, so dragged down, so, so tired very often. People don't know how to feed their soul. They're lost. And when your soul starts to sort of to flag, let's say, when your soul starts to become diminished, the light of the soul, the aura or the energy field that surrounds the soul, when that starts to diminish, then we become less light, we become less bright, we become physically often affected, we certainly become emotionally, and through our mind, our thoughts, the power of our thoughts, we become less and less who we are and who we really would like to be. So a healer, in my way of healing, a healer is that person who, either through a laying on of hands, which means if I have a patient in front of me, I will put my hands on that patient and give energy that way, or in this case, the case of what we're doing here is we build the energy. I build the energy within me. I create a powerful and a positive and a gorgeous blue healing energy, and then I just literally send it out into the universe for all of you to catch, if you'd like to catch it. And if you're thinking likewise, and if you'd like some of my energy, all we have to do is breathe it in. You think of me. If you have sent your name in and you're on our healing list, certainly we will be sending you personally healing. We'll be thinking of you personally and sending out that beautiful, beautiful energy. But we are first and foremost involved with creating that incredible and beautiful energy so that the soul can heal, so that the soul becomes lighter and brighter. So we're about sending light and energy and love to the soul. And very often, once the soul begins to heal, once the soul becomes brighter, once the energy around the soul becomes healthier, then as people, we respond. That light, that beautiful energy, that force can permeate throughout our physical body, and as it permeates throughout the body, it becomes, it can touch every part of the body, and lots of people have some amazing experiences. We've had patients in our healing centers who have, one lady had her hand was paralyzed for 25 years, and she came to us, and after one session, she couldn't believe it. She could move her hand. Do not ask me how that worked. All I did was put my hands on her, send out a prayer, and give healing. And that is my job. That's what I try to do. And the rest we leave to God. We leave to whoever is out there taking care of us. We leave it to our angels. And so whatever happens happens. We've had people who've had tumours that have disappeared. We've had a young girl who couldn't walk, and they were talking about amputating her leg because her leg was withering away. And she was at our healing centre for several months. And I don't know how, God's will, absolutely God's will, the joy and the beauty of God and the light and the love of God makes these things happen so often, and bingo, there we are. And within perhaps 3 months, she was walking, running, riding a bike, swimming, doing all of that stuff. So again, it's not down to the healer. I'm not the one who creates this. I'm simply the one who's putting out my energy and asking people to join with me, to breathe in my energy. Use it as you like. It's yours for as long as you want to use it, and if you find it helpful, or if you find it a healthy thing to do, that's absolutely brilliant. But again, with all of our patients, I advocate you should go and see, if you have an issue, you should go and see your doctor. You should always consult with the medical profession. I'm not one of these people who says, oh, the medical profession don't know what they're doing. And I have to tell you that if it were not for the medical profession, I personally would not be here. I'd have been gone 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So I advocate that people should go to their medical professional and talk about what's going on with them and discuss the healing process. And you'll find a lot of doctors, especially these days, are totally all for it. Whereas when I began, probably 1,000 years ago, because I'm so old, when I began, doctors would not allow us into the hospital. Nurses were always willing to have us in there, but the doctors somehow thought that it was ridiculous. It was, it was a taboo thing and so on. But now doctors, nurses, the medical profession in general accepts that there is far more to the human body than we know. There's far more to energy than we know, and there's far more to the powerful and the positive influence of the mind. Think it and it is, sort of thing. And so the medical profession is much more open and much more willing to allow people like myself in. So all right, so we asked you last week if you do need healing, if you would like to be put on in our healing book, let us know. We've received a lot of information from that. We've had a lot of people writing in, and all of you who wrote in, please be assured you are now on our healing list, and we send you healing every day. When I say we, my team and I. And also, let's not forget my spirit guide Gregor, who is standing right next to us, and he's the one who helps me and helps me to create this powerful and fantastic energy that we can use in the healing process. So we have that, excuse me, sorry, we have that going on. And then, so the medical profession is very open these days to the idea of energy, producing energy, using energy. And remember, that can work in a negative way, or it can work in a positive way. The power of the mind is the most powerful thing we possess. And so if you're thinking negatively, or you're getting depressed and getting negative, it'll just continue to spiral down. But if you work at this and you work with me and just play this thing every day. Somebody wrote in and said, if I play this every day, will it work every day? Yes, because it will, because you're connecting in with what we're doing. You're connecting in with that healing energy. You're connecting with your own healing energy. So of course it's going to work for you. And if it works for you, that's great. If it doesn't work for you, don't watch anymore. Don't participate anymore. Go, find something else that will work for you. But always look for the light and always look for the positive. So today we have my friend Kay from England. I think I did promise this last week, certainly. And Kay has been a healer. Say, can you inch up, push the dog out of the way and inch up here. So here's my friend Kay. So hello. She's my oldest friend, and I don't mean that. I don't mean
yes.
Yeah, exactly. How long have we known each other? I'm just going to move that there.
35 years.
35
82
years. In 1982 we met, and you've been a student for almost all of those years, right?
Right, yeah.
And
Still am.
yeah, well, you never stop being a student, do you?
No.
And so Kay and I we're very close. We're very close friends, and she and her two daughters, who are, as we speak, on the beach, having fun on the beach, we hope. They're here to stay with us for a few days, 10 days actually.
Yes.
And so I thought, although she's going to disappear in a minute, she's sitting on the other end of the sofa. So when we do the healing session, please understand that she's doing it with us, and she's sending out her healing because she's part of my team. And she always, always, always is a very, very powerful and a very strong and a very positive healer, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So move over, Casanova.
Sure.
And we just move that back there a little bit. We also have Michelle here, our lovely Michelle, who is fielding all of your comments and so on and so forth. So just to be clear, you can comment on this show. We will try and answer any comments and any questions that we have. Michelle is fielding those for us, and she's going to, we're going to be doing some of that in a minute. And again, if you would like healing, please email us, rosemary@rosemaryantaltea.com, and you will, and just in your subject line put healing, and if you would like healing, or if you would like, if you know someone who would like healing, then just let us know in your email, and you will automatically be put onto our healing list. We may not respond to you, but don't think that we do usually respond, right, Michelle? But
unless I get a whole bunch of them at one time, then I'm just worried about getting these on.
But don't, you know, if we don't quite answer you, if you haven't heard, if you send us that email and we receive it, trust me, you are then on the healing list if that's what you've requested. We also have a mailing list, and I know that lots of people have said, how do we get on the mailing list? What do we have to do to get on your mailing list? We have a mailing list. We do not just assume that people want to be on our mailing list. So if somebody emails us, they do not automatically go on our mailing list, because who wants to get all these emails every day of the week? And usually they're, you know, their emails about, they're awful, aren't they? I mean, I hate them. I just go through and delete all the time, all these emails that I get. But if you send me an email and you want to be on the mailing list, you please must put again in the subject line mailing list, and then just request, and we automatically put you on our mailing list. Now, I promise you are not going to get 3,000 emails or 3,000 notifications of what it is we're doing every week. It's not going to happen. How often do we send an email out
on a
mailing list?
On average, people on the mailing list normally receive about 5, maybe 6 emails over the month.
A month. I was a bit nervous then. I thought you were going to say for the week, but actually, so over the period of a month, you'll get probably 5 to 6 emails from us. So you're not going to be inundated, and we only send you stuff if we think it's relevant to you. But again, you do have to request to be put on the mailing list, because I just feel it's not fair to just keep spamming people with emails all the time. So please, and put it in the subject line, email. So let's have some comments or questions, Michelle, and then we're going to go, after that, we're going to go into the healing session. So please get yourselves ready. I'm going to tell you before we go to questions, this is what I would like you to do as soon as we get, if you want to participate in the healing session. You need to find a comfortable place to sit. If you're in a cafe or a restaurant or a shopping mall, see if you can find a comfortable place to sit. They all have these cafes. You don't need it to be quiet. The best healing often works in a noisy environment, but find somewhere where you can be comfortable, and just make sure that you can sit with nice and straight, hands, palms up, and then we'll begin. And I will remind you again, so what you need to do at the moment while we're answering some of these questions is just find somewhere to sit. If it's in your car, That's also really fine. Doesn't matter where you are, as long as you are comfortable, as long as you can breathe, and as long as you are, you know, feel relaxed or a little bit relaxed, or prepare to be relaxed. Michelle is laughing. I don't know what is going on. I can see all these things coming up. So why don't you fill us in on what's going on, Michelle, please?
Dean said I better put myself on the healing list because my cough sounds vicious. So I responded to him that I was working outside this morning and my allergies are on full effect.
Okay, well, Dean, I can't help you cough, but please join in the healing session. We'll see what we can do. Next.
And Violet is on this morning. She says, good morning to both of you.
Good morning, darling. How are you?
And James is on, and he said good morning to both of you.
Good morning, James.
Maria is on, and she says good morning.
Good morning,
hello.
Maria.
Everybody has just been giving us some hellos. Gabriella says, I have my daughter Denise in Paradise. She's 17 years old.
Okay. Well, I think you definitely will need some healing, my love, so we'll endeavour to give you that.
Julia has a question today.
Okay.
Have you worked through the incredible life experiences that your parents gave you? Forgiveness is hard. Did you keep working with them, especially after your father had crossed over?
Julia, do you know, Kay and I and the girls had this fabulous conversation over dinner last evening. We were talking about forgiveness, and we were talking about family, and of course we all have that baggage. And I'm assuming, Julie, that you're asking me personally. So I'm going to say something which to a lot of you may sound very weird, but I don't ever forgive. Let me explain. I feel that in order to forgive, we first have to judge. We have to judge, did a person do something awful? We have to judge why. Were they coming from a good place? Were they coming from a right place? Did they mean to hurt us? All those things make up the reasons why we, you know, and the way that we judge a person. And I don't feel that I am fit to do that. I don't often know a person's background. For instance, if we're looking at my father, and we were talking about, you know, what my parents did. My father, yes, he beat me without a doubt. Yes, he was tough, but he was coming from a good place. Weirdly enough, he was coming from a place of soldiering. He'd been a soldier all of his life, and he didn't know anything other than discipline. So, you know, am I going to judge him? Whose standards am I going to judge him by? Whereas my mother, on the other hand, her cruelty, which was in many ways much, much worse than my father's, I have to tell you, was deliberate and deliberately enacted, and she set us amongst each other and took us being my siblings, and I took great delight in that. And she was often very cruel, and often, you know, she just had to say one thing. You don't necessarily have to beat someone in order to hurt them and to be cruel to them. And her idea of you know, sort of punishing, if you like, was to be cruel, to set us amongst each other, and so on. Now, so I could sit there and judge and say, well, you know, this is what she did, and she did it deliberately. But if I'm going to really judge her to the point where I need to forgive her, I'm going to have to really understand why she was the way she was. And I don't have that information. So when I say I don't forgive, what I'm saying is I really don't feel that I'm capable of judging fully. What I do try to do, which I think is more important, is I accept that my father was the way he was, and I accept that although he was, you know, lived in a very difficult time himself, that he was in so many ways a wonderful person, a wonderful man. I accept him, warts and all. and I can move on without feeling, you know, without it being personal to me, because I think their actions were not necessarily personal to me. It came from inside of them. And with my mother, it's the same. I feel very sad that my mother was the way that she was. And I'm not looking inward at me to feel how hurt I was or how cruel she was to me specifically. But yet I look at her and I accept that she was who she was, and she was the way that she was. I can't change what happened. What I can do, I can make sure that I do not act in the same way ever towards my child or towards my grandchild, and certainly not towards my friends and so on. So acceptance, I think, is far more important than judging or forgiving and so on. So I know it's a slightly different take on the, you know, the idea of forgiveness, but that's how I feel. Do we have another question? Thank you for that question, darling. Do we have any other questions?
James has requested we add him to the healing page.
Great.
He's just out of the hospital.
Okay.
He had an ulcer.
Definitely, we shall absolutely, James, we shall absolutely send you healing, not just today, but every day. And please email me, all of you who have healing or who are sick or who have those health issues. Please email us, let us know how you're doing, how you're getting on, and how you are finding the healing sessions, if they're working for you, if they're not working for you, and so on. Again, we make no promises here. I'm just sitting here for a little while, giving you my energy and giving you my thoughts, just because. Why? Because isn't it the right thing to do, that if we have a gift, we have to share it, I think. Anything else, Michelle, going on here?
A lot of hellos and good mornings.
Hellos, hello.
Or
Morning,
good evenings,
morning.
too.
Good evenings, yeah. We're in the afternoon here, but I know in England it's evening. Do you want to say briefly, Kay, anything about this, you know, with the idea of acceptance? And
Oh, it's freeing. It's totally freeing.
it is, isn't
Yes,
it? You
yes.
you just let
Yes,
go.
Let it go.
You let
be,
go
let it
and
be
let God,
Yeah.
and just get
Yeah.
on with your
Yes.
life, and you don't.
And it's a sort of a revelation when you actually realise it.
I think too many people hold on to the pains and the
Yeah.
hurts, and I do understand why you do it, but I can tell you that it's not
Well,
going
it's
to do you any good,
justification.
right?
Sometimes it's justification,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah,
People hold on to it because they
yeah.
don't. They have to justify something within themselves.
And sometimes people don't know how to live without holding
no.
on to the pain, which is
and
that's
it's habit, isn't it, as well?
yeah. But I've often been asked, you know, over the years, how did I, you know, forgive my parents, and they have it. I haven't. I've just accepted, and that's good for me, and I'm hoping it's good for them, wherever they are, if they're listening. Anything else, Michelle, coming in?
I was replying to one of your people. Sue had asked to please post the email trying to find her life's path, need to work, but had surgery. So I was responding to her with our email address.
All right, so again, I'm going to say the email address, and we will put it up there at the end of the show. Michelle will put up the email address that you can email to. Is that possible, Michelle? I'm telling them what you can do, and I don't even know if you can do it.
Actually, I'll do it and I'll pin it to the top.
There you are. So she'll do it, she'll pin it to the top, so you'll all know the email. Okay, so the email is Rosemary, that's me, at rosemaryaltea, that's also me, .com. It's very simple email, okay? Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com. Remember, in the subject line, if you want healing, put healing. If you want, you know, if you want a consultation, put in consultation. What else do we have going on? If you want to be part of a competition that we've got going, which we'll talk about tomorrow, Thursday morning, we'll do that too. But if you, and also most importantly, because we've had a lot of queries about this, please, if you want to be on our mailing list, just put mailing list in the subject line, and we'll know exactly. And that way, if you sort of put what you're about, and if you want all of them, all of the above, that's also fine. But if you want specific things, you put them in the subject line, then it's easier for Michelle, because we do get lots and lots and lots of emails, as you can imagine, all the time. And so if you put your, in the subject line, the category that you're most interested in, then we shall try and address it the best way we can and the quickest way that we can. Anything else, Michelle, before we go into the healing session?
No, Wendy just joined a few minutes ago, and Nettie joined a few minutes ago.
Okay. Hi girls. Hi to both of you. Anyone else?
We have Jessie on with us, and it's her first time.
Hi, Jessie. And first time with me, or first time?
I think first time with you, or first time here, which means first time for these.
Okay, all right. So, well, it's only our second healing session anyway. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I did suggest to all of you, find a comfortable place to sit. You don't need music. You don't need quiet unless you feel like it. Just, you can sit anywhere you like as long as it's comfortable. Please sit with your body straight, your back as straight as you possibly can, because I would like your diaphragm to be nice and free and easy to breathe. All right, so we talked a little bit about chakra points last week, and our main chakra point for this session is that chakra point that seats itself within the solar plexus. You know, that place where if you're nervous you get butterflies in the tummy, or if you're nervous you get that churning, sick feeling. That is your chakra. The word chakra, a Hindu word, simple really. It sounds fabulous, doesn't it? It sounds so mysterious, and it sort of enhances the mystique of the thing. But the word chakra is a Hindu word, and really all it means is spinning wheel. And we liken our energy points to those spinning wheels, turning, moving, flowing, bringing energy into us, giving energy out of us, so that we have a nice energy flow going on. So sit comfortably, as straight as you can, and I want you to be aware. Put your hand over your solar plexus a little bit and sort of rub around it. Be aware of that, and when you're done with that and you feel comfortable that you know where it is, and you sort of have a little bit of a sensation there. It doesn't matter if you don't, but anyway, just I'm trying to be as helpful to you as I can, because you can do this on your own. You don't need me personally. You can give healing to yourself. So hands, palms upwards, and again, little chakra points, little tiny powerful circles, spinning wheels of energy, receiving. So we always ask my patients to put their hands palms upwards on their lap if you can, and nice and straight, and breathing in through your solar plexus. And we're going to begin. The first thing that I like to do, I'll sometimes say it out loud, but mostly I will say it in my head as I lay my hands on a patient's shoulders, or if I'm sending absent healing or distant healing, which is what we're doing today, I will think of you all out there, and I will project out my energy, and I will always begin with a prayer. So, dear God, please allow me to be a part of your healing process. Allow us to participate in that universal God force, in that universal God energy that is out there. Allow me to be a part of this process, and to be the best conduit for that healing energy that I can possibly be. Dear God, as always, I will to thy will. Close your eyes, palms up on your laps, breathing in through your solar plexus. Fill your lungs. Hold the energy in your lungs, and then let it flow out, 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 out. Breathing in again, filling your lungs remember what you're doing is you're breathing in that incredible and beautiful energy which I am sending to you, which is surrounding you. Because even as we're doing this, and even as you're participating, that God energy, that universal God force is surrounding you also, because God knows what it is that we need. And when we try and we connect with that God force or that God energy, that powerful healing force, when we think about it and we work at it and we breathe it in, then we receive it. We ask and it shall be given to you. I think the correct phraseology is ask and it shall be given unto you. And so we breathe in, we ask God for his healing energy, we ask God if we can participate. So what I'm doing now is I'm sending out my energy, my thoughts, my pure, beautiful healing energy out to all of you. As I'm doing this, I'm visualizing the color blue, because the color blue happens to be the universal healing color. So if it helps you as you're sitting here and you're listening to my voice, you can visualize a blue blanket being wrapped around your shoulders, or you can visualize blues and greens. You can visualize the color pink if you'd like, because the color pink is the color of love. So I am sending out my love, I'm sending out my beautiful pure energy, I'm sending out whatever I can to all of you who are participating. So if it helps you, you can do it, and you're not working at this, you don't need to work at anything. All you have to do is just sit there, eyes closed, palm centers raised, and relax and enjoy this whole process. Don't think, just feel. Just be in the moment. But if it helps you and it's easy for you to do, visualize that blanket, or visualize that blue cloud, or that cloud of pinks and blues and greens. Blue is the universal healing color, green is the color of calm and peace, and color pink is the color of love. So as it's surrounding me and as I'm absorbing it and as I'm sending it out to you, you are receiving it. Breathe in what I'm sending out to you. Gobble it up. You can take as much as you like, because as much as you all want, I have more to give. So breathing in and breathing in through your solar plexus, holding your breath, relaxing, breathing in again, and let yourself go. Allow the healing process to take place. Remember, we're giving healing to the soul. We're giving healing to the spirit, and the spirit is the aura or the energy field that surrounds the soul. So we're trying to create a beautiful, light, bright, incredibly beautiful energy around the soul. We're going to feed the soul, and in feeding the soul, we then hopefully feed the physical self. We hopefully feed what is going on with us. So visualize, if you can, if you have a particular health issue, visualize that now. Visualize it dissipating. Visualize it just leaving with that beautiful energy. Visualize being surrounded by that energy, which is going to hopefully help you to deal with whatever is going on with you. And it's hopefully going to give you at least peace and at least calm. And once the body feels that calm, and once the body feels that peace, then miracles do happen, you know. Miracles can happen. And miracles happen to us every day in the smallest of ways. So allow this to be your small miracle. The miracle is that a stranger has stepped into your home, giving you healing, giving you love, not wanting anything from you whatsoever. The miracle is that God energy, that God force that surrounds us all is helping you. Breathe it in. It's there for you. Breathe it in, hold it, create that calmness, that peace, and that beauty within you. Stay calm, relax, eyes still closed. Let's try this again, shall we? Breathing in through your solar plexus. Nice, deep, but gentle breath. You're not having to work hard at this. So breathe in through your solar plexus and fill your lungs, fill your heart, fill yourself full of this gorgeous energy. And when you feel that you're about to burst with it, relax, let go, and feel that energy permeating through all the way to your fingertips. And again, breathing in, let it flow through you, that God force, that God energy that we are connected to, that we are participating in, that we're being allowed to use. Breathe it in, hold it, let go, and relax. Now in your own time, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Just absorb the peace, the calm and the beauty that is being sent out to you. Relax, open your eyes, let go, and we're done. And that's it, and that's all it requires. Now, you can do this every day by yourselves. If it helps to watch this video every day, use it. If you don't need it, or you prefer not to hear me chattering my way through it, do what we did, but do it by yourself. If it helps to put on some nice calming music, do that. Whatever works for you. This universe of ours, and the many, many universes that are out there, we don't understand them. We don't see the majority of what is out there, and we certainly do not know the majority of what is out there. What I know, because I feel it and I use it and I absorb it, is I know that there is this God force, and you don't have to call it a God force, you can call it a universal force if you want to. Again, you don't have to believe in God. I've got enough belief for anybody and everybody. But it's a universal force, a force for good, a force for positiveness, a force for power. And it's a force that we can tap into and that we can use. The more of us who do this, who hold hands, and we call these my healing sessions Hands Around the World, at 11 a.m. every morning, wherever you are in the world, if you just tune in other words, just think. That's what you have to do. Just think about it for a minute. 11 o'clock, time for my prayer. You say your prayer. You visualize all of those other people who are doing the same thing that you're doing, and you know, in a metaphorically speaking, you're holding hands with all of those other people who are participating. And it's a hands around the world thing. So lots of lovely, lovely energy, lots of absolutely positive energy. And why wouldn't you use it? Don't limit yourselves. Many, many years ago, I met a man. He was an old man, actually. He'd been a healer for, I don't know, 50, 60 years or something. And I was so excited to meet this this man because I had a trillion questions, and he said to me, and this is way back at the beginning of my work doing this, and you know, he said to me, do you believe in miracles, Rosemary? And I said, I do actually. I believe that miracles happen every day. I think the sun coming up every morning is a miracle. I think the fact that I open my eyes and I can breathe and I can feel and I can do is a miracle. So I do believe in miracles. Some of those miracles are small miracles and some of those miracles are big miracles. And he said, well, he said, this is what I believe. He said, sometimes God gives us miracles and sometimes, you know, he doesn't, but there's no harm in asking. So he said, every time I give healing, he said, I always ask for a miracle. God can say yes or no, it's up to him. But is there any harm in me asking for it? And I remembered that, and all these years later, I ask for a miracle. If we get some miracles, wonderful. If we don't get some miracles, well, you know, that's all right. We're no worse off than we were before, were we? So we're no worse off than before we even began this healing session. So if you want a miracle, I'm going to tell you what the old man told me. What does it hurt to ask? God can say no. He can say yes. So ask for that miracle. All right, Kay.
Yes.
Do you have anything that you want to add? Kay was with us all the way in that session, as my team are out there in the universe, out there in the world, and helping with that healing session. Do you want to say anything? I'm going to put the camera on you just a little bit.
Really?
Yes, of course, okay. Of course. Snuggle up here. There you are.
I've got a dog to sit on here. I don't want to move him. Really.
There you are. There you are. Go.
I was there. Oh, he's moving. Thank you. Okay, I was there with you and totally relaxed there, and taking me back to the very first sessions with you when my girls were really little, and
35
years,
ago.
and it's a daily habit, and I don't go without doing this, even subconsciously, not even sitting down sometimes or taking quiet time, just subconsciously.
It's sort of it's ingrained in us, really, isn't it?
Yes, and going through a daily life and thinking and asking for little miracles here and there, seeing somebody in an underpass who is homeless in a sleeping bag in the rain and not knowing what to do. You just add a little prayer, you ask
send
for
out
healing.
Send out a little prayer, send out
Yes.
some healing
Yeah.
energy to that person.
It's all around, it's everywhere.
So it's every day.
Every day,
So
all the time.
So, all right. So we have more questions here, or comments, or something going on, because Michelle's put her hand up. So let's go, Michelle. What do you have to tell us?
I was just going to tell you that Chris was on with you guys also. And
Hi, Chris.
I missed her when it said that she joined, so I skipped over her and I felt bad.
Oh, naughty
So
girl.
I apologize, Chris.
It's easy for us. Please, if Michelle does skip you or we don't seem to be responding to you, it's easy for us to do it because we're getting lots of people joining in. We're getting lots of comments. I can see, I can't read what you're saying because that's why Michelle's here, but we're getting lots and lots of blurbs and comments and questions and so on. So please don't be offended if we miss you. It's not that we did it deliberately. Sorry about that, Chris. Okay, let's keep going. Michelle, please.
We have some thank yous. Wendy says hi, Kay,
Hi, Wendy.
and that welcome and she loves your top.
Oh,
Good. There you go.
Sue said thank you, Rosemary.
My pleasure.
Julia wants to know if you can see auras.
I do. In fact, Julia, it's so funny you should ask about auras because in one of my online classes, we're actually very specifically dealing with auras, aura spotting, aura watching. I'm teaching my students hopefully to see their own aura, and when I say see, I mean see in the broadest sense of the word, seeing, feeling, sensing, being aware. And I think it's next week that they're going to really go out to do some aura spotting and seeing other people's auras. But yes, I do see people's auras, Julia, yes.
Emily had a question.
Hi, Emily.
And she said, my grandfather passed in June. One of his one true love passed 26 years ago. He was 91 and like another parent to me. Is he and grandma together? And did he get his answers from his siblings?
That would be a yes and a yes. There's a third yes in there somewhere. I don't know why. So maybe you're holding back on a question, but the only reason I know that is because I'm talking with Gregel and he's saying, please don't worry about them. They are safe and well and together. So there you have it. Let's have another question, Michelle.
Gabriella said, thanks a lot
Morning,
for this
Gabriella.
special moment with you both. Sorry for my horrible English.
We don't care if you've got horrible English. We love it that you've joined us.
There's a comment from Violet, but it just went flying past it. Hold on.
We're trying to find Violet's comment.
She,
Where is she?
for some reason,
Did it
it's letting me
disappear?
highlight everything, but it's not letting
Would
me
you like
click
to
on
send
it.
your comment again to us, Violet, so we can, talk about whatever it was that you said to us?
There
We'd
it
love
goes.
to. There we are.
Violet said, a lovely experience. I fell asleep. I always feel a bit spaced out after healing. I'm going to get a glass of water.
Okay, I might point out that Violet has had Kay personally as a healer, hands-on, right?
Absolutely.
You had hands-on, so
And James.
so good. Oh, and James too. Oh, all right.
Actually, James has a comment on here too, and it says, hi Kay, myself and Violet were only talking about you the other day. You are, they keep commenting, and there goes my comment I was reading. You are in our thoughts and can't wait to see you, XX.
That's good. That's nice.
oh, maybe they'll take you out to dinner and treat you and shower you with chocolates and all sorts of
I
other
don't need
things.
any
She
of
doesn't need any
those.
chocolates.
No, none of those things, thank you.
But she'll be dying to tell you her experience here
Yeah.
when she gets home.
Julia would like to know,
Yes,
how do
Julia?
you not take on others' energies, good or bad?
Oh, that's a very good question, Julia. And by saying the prayer before we begin, we ensure that we are protected. And there are, ways. I've been doing this for so many years. I don't really ever think about it anymore, but there are ways of protection, and I always say the prayer, and I always say thank you to God, to the universe, to that power that is out there, for allowing me to participate in the healing process. So that is a protection all on its own. That's a very good question, Julia, and thank you for asking that.
Wendy is on, and she said, thank you for the healing. My spirit needed that. It's been a sad week, as you know, but this helped.
Good. I'm glad. Anyone else?
And then we have Laurel Ann says, blessings, Rosemary.
Good morning, Laurel Ann. Or
She's-
good afternoon, I think it is here anyway.
She says, I'm wondering about my mother, Patricia. Is she nearby? I keep seeing monarch butterflies
Oh, now, let
around,
me-
and I wonder if this is her communicating.
let me tell you something about the butterfly. The Apache believe, the Native American culture, I'm not sure if it's just the Apache, but the Native American culture believes that the butterfly is the symbol of eternal happiness and joy. And I think so your mom is trying to tell you that she is eternally happy, safe and well and in a good place. What a wonderful, wonderful sign that you've had there, my darling. I'm thrilled for you. But remember, the butterfly is the symbol of eternal happiness and joy. Okay, yes?
Marion said, thank you for the healing.
Marion, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are, yes.
She says, I'm a little sad this fall. I have to miss so many family and friends in a couple of years. I miss them so much. Hold on, I gotta click the see more button. I hope you can read my English.
We understand that you're sad, but I hope that Marion, that you participated in the healing process, because it will help you, I'm sure, to you know, fill you inside with light and joy. Because even though you miss your family, you know, especially if they have passed to the spirit world, you know that they're there with us, you know that they're watching, and you know that they love you very much. So absorb that healing. If it helps you, watch me every day. You could watch me 2 or 3 times a day if you like. We've had our healing session last week, so you can vary it as well if you want. You can watch last week's and this week's and even next week's, because we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis, and hopefully it will help you.
Remember, we were going to adjust the time next week.
We're adjusting the time next week?
Because Kate flies out next Wednesday.
Oh yes, we can't do it next Wednesday because I have to take my friends to the airport, or as my darling boy used to say when he was a little boy, the aeroport. He would always call the airport the aeroport. Of course, he's grown up now, he doesn't do that anymore. He's 6, so he doesn't say aeroport anymore, he says airport. And he used to call the bedroom the bread room. Come on, Mosey, let's go into the bread room and play. So I'm going to the aeroport next week to take Kay back. So we're probably going to do this next week on a Tuesday. And again, if you're on my mailing list, if you want to be on the mailing list, we'll let you know. Otherwise, keep tuning into our Facebook page and we'll let you know from there. But it's probably going to be Tuesday next week rather than Wednesday, because I've got things to do. I don't even want to think about taking you back. You've only just got here. No. So, all right, I can see that other things are popping up there, so can we have some more? You can ask me as many questions as you like. I'm here for you all, and there's no limit to the questions, so go for it. I'll do my best to answer.
Jeff is on, and he says, please send prayers for my journey across country to meet my new granddaughter.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. I know who Jeff is.
I wasn't sure if you knew.
Michelle is saying quietly, that's Jeff, you know, that's, this is my friend Jeff, and of course I know exactly who you are, and the granddaughter thing, and I will absolutely send you whatever energy it is that you need, and you can produce your own anyway, Jeff. You're perfectly capable of doing this, so please, I'm so excited for you. Jeff and Andrea, who are friends of mine, are going to meet their new granddaughter for the very first time. I'm not sure, is she 3 weeks old or 4 weeks old? I'm not sure. But anyway, she's a little tiny little fairy little thing. She's beautiful. I've seen lots of photos. We're definitely going to send you safe journey and blessings and all of that stuff. And please, Jeff, could you do one thing for me? Could you please give her a kiss from me? And could you also give her a kiss from you know who? That's all I'm saying, because it's private between us, right, Jeff? All right. Next.
Laura Ann said, thank you so much, Rosemary.
Laura Ann, thank you for joining us. It's been a real pleasure for me, and I hope you get something out of this.
Gabriella says, I believe in miracles.
Hi, Gabriella.
And I ask God for the last 8 years for the same dream every day. I never stop to think that my miracle can be reality. I think my Denise never leave me alone.
Okay, we're not quite sure what you mean, but I'm glad that you believe in miracles, and of course your miracle can be a reality. Don't discard your dreams. It's a good thing to dream, I think. Anyone else?
Julia said, a crazy question, but is my father ready to talk, or am I?
Oh, well, that's a whole other situation. Maybe you need a consultation, I don't know. But, you know, talking, I think, is important, and I advocate talking to people. If you've got an issue, if you've got a situation, you should always try and talk things out. However, more important than talking is listening. So when you are ready to listen, and it's not a strange question at all, darling, when you are ready to listen as well as to talk, when you are ready to listen to another person's point of view, when you are ready to listen to what somebody else has to say. That's when you get the most out of communicating. So just giving you that. Anything else, Michelle?
Mayra says hello.
Who?
Mayra.
Mayra. Hi, hi, Mayra. That's an unusual name. I love that name. And anyone else? So
Nope, we're nice and quiet.
So you're all quiet, which means you've obviously had enough of me. Somebody popped up just there.
It was Mayra. She says, I was in my bed with your books, and then I saw the notification that you were here live. Whee!
Yay! Yay! Go on our mailing list, and then you'll know exactly when we're live. All right. So let me just say, of course, now all the comments are coming in. Now they see I'm leaving.
Saying thank you.
Off you go. Off you go. So, so first of all, let me say, as always, thank you to Grey Eagle. I'd like to say thank you to Kay for joining us. She is going to be on with us tomorrow morning in our YouTube session. If you don't know anything about the YouTube session, look for my channel on YouTube, and it is The Spirit World Sees Rosemary Altea. The Spirit World Sees All. We do every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. so we're going to do that, and Kay is going to be on. We're not sure about the girls. They might be in the pool, they might be on the beach, or they might be on the sofa with me. You just never know what they're going to be doing. And also with my co-host Al Pisano on Friday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be having another session of Everything is Attitude. So again, if you want to know more about this, or you want to be informed, or you sort of keep forgetting and you're not sure when I'm going to be on, if you want to be on the mailing list, I'm going to give it to you again, but Michelle is also going to put it at the top of the, oh, she already put it at the top of the page, so you know where, but it is Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com. If you possibly can, please put the subject healing, consultation, books, if you want, to know where to get the books from. My new book, A Walk in the Clouds, is now out. So if you want to, whatever it is you want to know, if you just put it in the subject line, it just helps us to get to you quicker and easier. So thank you all for joining us. We had a great session. Please, 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 and this is for all of you who need healing, and I personally think we all need healing on a daily basis, but for all of you who really feel desperately that you need healing, or you know of someone who needs healing, you can do this for yourselves. And when you're sitting there quietly and you're breathing, if you know of someone, or if you have your own healing list, because I do encourage people to make their own healing lists. At the beginning, when you say your prayer, ask God for all of those who you know who need healing, for all of those on your healing list who need healing, and include those other people that you feel that you would like to send healing to, or you would feel that would benefit from this. Don't forget to share, because if you don't share with people, people don't know we're here. So share what you're experiencing now with your friends, with everybody who's out there in the universe. Hands around the world. We shall be back tomorrow with our YouTube channel. Thank you, my darlings, and please, please, please have a very, very blessed rest of the day.